Hey guys, let's talk about handling buyers. This is going to be the buyer process from beginning to end. So with buyers can be a little bit more tricky because most of us are not using an exclusive buyer representation agreement. These things could change in the future depending on NAR and the government and all these other things. And there's a lot of things in the works as we make this video. But as of right now, the typical agent is not using an exclusive buyer rep agreement that legally mandates someone use them. So knowing that and just knowing how different that is from a listing, okay? With a listing, they are signing a bound contract that they have to pay you if the house sells. Your buyer could ask you to show them a house and you're not available, and so they just go use somebody else. And the next thing you know, the buyer that you've been working with for months and months has cut you out of a deal because they are not patient, okay? So these next few videos are going to be designed to keep that buyer loyal to you and explaining the process to buyers in such a way that they will respect you, respect your time, and you will keep them loyal. So let's begin this with the buyer process, contract to close. So it starts out with, typically, I think everyone should be meeting the buyer. Meet them in person if at all possible. Get a coffee. Have a sense for one another and what your expectations are and what they want. At this point, you should be creating searches for them based off of what they tell you that they want, but always expand on it a little bit. If somebody says, oh, well, I want to spend between $300 and $350, guess what? I'm opening a search from $280 to $380, maybe even $400, just because you're going to have some houses that are overpriced, but you're also going to have some people with a higher budget than they are really telling you, and the perfect house is out there waiting for them. And quite honestly, they need to spend an extra 15 or 20 grand to get the house that they're really going to love, rather than saving the 15 or 20 grand and buy a house that they don't love. Okay. So learning their parameters, creating searches for them. But once you create the search, let them know, hey, you're going to be getting an email from me with an activated search. You need to click on that. You need to click on this link. You need to activate that search. Explaining it like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old sometimes is very important. Explaining how this works. I know we can't say that I work for you for free. I know that's been outlawed, but at the end of the day, what they need to understand is they are not going to be writing you a check for your services. The seller is, okay? A commission has been agreed upon, bound by the MLS, to be paid by the seller to you. So many people think, oh, if I have my own agent, I have to pay them. As of today, August 2023, that is not the case. Might change in the future, but as of right now, that's not the case. So just have them understand, look, the seller is going to pay me a commission that they have already agreed upon to pay. You're not going to owe me anything for my services. And at this point, that's when I would typically tell them, what you're going to owe me is loyalty. I am going to answer your calls, answer your texts, everything incredibly quickly, as soon as possible, incredibly accurately, provide you with the best information that is available on the market. I'm going to take time away from my family. I'm going to take my weekends, my evenings, whatever is needed to show you houses. Okay? We're going to continue to talk. We're going to keep a list of houses we want to see, and we're going to go see them nonstop until we find the one that you like. And then once we find the one that you like, I'm going to lead you through the entire process from the offer to inspections to appraisals, all the way to a closing, and make sure everything is done right for you. That is my job. But they need to understand that in order for you to do that, they have to remain loyal to you. We actually have paperwork for this available. We don't have them sign a legally binding agreement with us. We call it a customer agent loyalty agreement. That's exactly what it's called. And explaining to these people what your job entails. Most of the clients you work with are going to get paid every 2 weeks, whether they do their job or not. Explain to them that's not you. The only way you get paid is if you are allowed to do the job that you are promising to do as an incredible professional right now in front of them over this coffee. Really instill that in them and follow through on that. Okay. And make them understand, look, I am here. I'm on your schedule. If something happens, if something comes up and you just got to see this house right now and I can't make it, allow me to find somebody to show it to you for me, because it's important that the person you have built this rapport with and this trust with, you allow them to handle your transaction, not some total stranger because you can't be patient. Okay? So all these things, important to explain. This is the process from starting out, first meeting a buyer, all the way to the closing. But I cannot overstate enough that you explain to them very clearly, you're not going to write me a check for my services. Please be loyal to me. Please, when I do a good job, please be loyal to me. Okay? Because I am going to always be acting in your best interest.